It's time to fold some laundry, and while we do, by the way, I'm Hava Schultz if we haven't met. Nice to meet you. And today's just gonna be casual. It's gonna be just more of a chit chat conversation about why you want money and thinking about your financial future. This is not gonna be me giving you advice. This is just gonna be sharing my thoughts on the situation and my personal scenario. So it's just gonna be more friend to friend, and let's get folding because there is such a big pile. The first thing I like to do when I get my laundry is I actually like to sort it between socks and underwear, which are really small things, and then the bigger items. I do still fold like Marie Kondo, and so when it comes to folding socks, just so small and tedious, so I want to go ahead and separate those out, and I'll do that at the end. I need to sort of feel that sense of accomplishment first of folding all the big stuff like jeans and shirts and jackets. And then big stuff will just go over there. A couple of my jackets get hung, so I'm just gonna set them to the side. When it comes to money, you really need to know why you want money, and it's important to know why you want money, meaning what do you want? $1 million is not necessarily going to make you happy if you don't know why you want $1 million. What do you even want to do with that? You know, you may want $1 million because that may help you afford a certain home or a certain amount you can give to charity. And when it comes to charity, I think that we all can give something. Even if you feel like it's a small amount, you can always give at least a little bit. But I think that money is never going to make you happy. But as far as achieving your financial goals, it's important to know what you want, because if you're trying to make $1 billion, you may not even need $1 billion to get what you want. I think more than what items you want, I like to think of it more as a lifestyle. Like for me, you know, I really want to travel, and I have ideas of things I want to do annually, both domestically and internationally. Being able to travel with my boyfriend, my future own family, maybe even friends, and to afford something like international travel. And depending on which of the trips I'm considering in my mind, what those are going to cost, I'm going to need a certain amount of money to afford that. If you want, let's say, a multi-million-dollar home, because I know that big houses are something that a lot of people want, you really want to think about why do you want that? So not just why do you want money, but why do you want what you want? And what I mean by that is, if you want a multi-million-dollar home, which is the reason why you want a buku amount of money, why do you want the multi-million-dollar home? Because in order to make the money that it's going to take to afford the multi-million-dollar home, most likely you're going to have to work very hard. And so is it worth the work you're going to have to put in? Going back to the travel example, for me, when it comes to travel, it might be really expensive to do some of the experiences I have in mind, but the reason it's worth it is because of what I get out of it. I get to create memories with people I really care about. Of course, it's more than just memories. I can make memories for far less money. You don't even need money to make memories, just throwing that out there. Also, it really feeds my curiosity and the exploration that I really thrive on, and getting to know different cultures, meeting different kinds of people. That to me really taps into curiosity and exploration and a desire to really understand the world around me. So for me, it's something deeper. It's not just taking really cool Instagram photos, although photos and videos is yet another thing I get out of travel, because I get to really play with the experience and enjoy it even longer by creating something memorable out of it that I can always revisit. So there's so much in travel that makes me motivated to come up with the money to make that happen. I want money because I want to travel, but it's more than just wanting to travel. I want to travel because of the memories, the exploration and curiosity and media creativity I get out of it. So there's a lot to it, and I think it's just important to get clear on that with anything you want financially, but more in terms of big financial stuff, because it's something that's going to take a lot of work. So you have to make sure that it's worth what it's going to take to work for you. Also, on the note of thinking about the lifestyle you want as far as how much money you need to make, because when I talk about something like a trip, I mean, that's gonna take some saving to get the money for that trip, but it's not necessarily an everyday kind of thing, except for the fact that I want to be able to do it very frequently. So in some ways it will be a part of my lifestyle, but I think it's also important to think about things like, what kind of home do you want to live in, or apartment, and think about what kind of clothes do you want to buy, how often do you want to eat out. And I don't mean that you have to plan your life to every little detail, because that would just be, honestly, it's kind of impossible, because you can't predict every purchase that's going to come up, and you're going to go crazy trying to plan your life to that level of detail and figure out exactly what income you need to be satisfied. And I say satisfied, not happy, because again, money isn't going to make you happy. And so, oh my gosh, where was I? I kind of lost my thought. Back to my point. Lifestyle being, how do you want things to look on your typical daily life, just to figure out what general amount do you need to sustain that. I'm still in a super rough stage of this. I don't know exactly what I need yet, but I am actively working on it, and I think that's kind of the point, is just getting an idea. And I think there's also a difference between how much money you want to make in your typical income, and then how much money you need to save for certain goals. Because with the house example, yes, living in a home is part of your everyday life, but the financial implication of your home, hopefully, is not part of your everyday life. It is one big expense, and then it's done. So I say that obviously, and it makes it sound like I'm assuming you're gonna pay for your home in cash. And although I'm not assuming that, that absolutely would be amazing. But the point is, you make that purchase, and then that's that. If it's an everyday kind of thing, it means you're either stressing way too much, or you're having issues with your mortgage. And I can't really speak too much more to that, because obviously I'm not a homeowner, but I just think that it's important to consider your day-to-day stuff and your one-time bigger goals that you aggressively save for. Hopefully that makes sense. So before we completely leave this topic, I also think you should consider things that you think are cool and you would like, and recognize that that may not be the same as the things you really, really want. I'm not really a car person, so I can tell you what my dream car would be, although it could totally change, because again, I'm not a car person. I don't even like to drive. I like fantasize taking the New York City subway, and yes, for anyone who's in New York, yes, I've been on the New York City subway, and I know it's glamorized in the movies, and I know what it's really like, and I still fantasize that just because I don't really love to drive. I fantasize more of the efficiency side, where I can be doing something else while I'm on my transportation. But that's kind of off topic, except for the fact that if I want to live in New York someday, which I honestly do, at least for some period of my life, that is going to take some sort of unusual effort probably, and again, knowing what the lifestyle cost implications are so that I can actually achieve that. But anyway, it's important to recognize what you think would be cool, but you don't truly want, because it's probably not worth working for. So for me, that would be a really cool car. I think that a Lexus crossover would be really cool. So it's a designer luxury car, not something like a Tesla, but just really nice, and also like a medium size. So that would be expensive. I drive a nice car, don't get me wrong, but it's very middle of the road in my opinion. No pun intended, actually. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think that that's something that would be cool if I had the money to do that, but at the same time, it is not what's gonna get me up and motivated every day to work for that money. And then just something else that I said before, but I'm gonna say again, is when it comes to money, think about what it really is. And I'm pretty sure I learned this in one of my freshman year college economics classes. Money is just these little pieces of cotton linen blends. They are dirty, germy pieces of, we call them paper, even though I just told you it's fabric, with pictures of dead presidents on them. I mean, who cares about that? I don't even like to touch it, honestly, because it's so gross. I try to not touch my face after I touch cash. But the reason I want cash is because of what cash can buy me. So the thing is, cash itself, you don't really care about, you don't even really want. It's what you can do with cash. And I know you might argue that you want cash to have it in the bank, and I completely agree. But what cash in the bank is doing for me is it's creating security. So I think that it's important to just always understand, what is your money doing for you? It's either buying you something that you want, or something that's hopefully going to improve your life, or it's creating some sort of feeling, and that's probably going to be a sense of security or hope for the future, or I don't know. You could probably comment below and give me some more ideas on this, because this has not been my most articulate video, but I'm just totally having a conversation with you, and so I really would be interested to hear what you have to say on this, since this is kind of a hot topic for people, especially as we're in our young adult life and getting started, and there is so much to knowing what you want for the future. I think is something that's really underrated, because I went through finance class. I took a finance course with Financial Peace University, which I'll link down below because that really helped me a lot. I've learned all this stuff, and what I think is lacking is positive motivation. There's something really scary about debt, and it's honestly so scary to me. But I think it's important to recognize what you want, what will get you fueled. You're working towards something. And so I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I just feel like it's kind of important to mention. 1 second. Because I think if you're working towards something, it'll keep you motivated even when you're doing things that you don't really love doing. Trust me, I've had plenty of work that I don't enjoy, but I do it because I know the rewards I'll get for it in the long run are going to be so much better than the amount of pain I may be experiencing to do whatever it is. And I'm not saying that you should do a job you hate, absolutely not. I definitely think you should try to find something you enjoy, but even when you find something you enjoy doing and it's making you money, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's always gonna be happy-go-lucky and you're always gonna love it. Probably not. I don't get paid to make YouTube videos, at least not as of right now. And there are still things that I really don't love about making videos, because being a YouTuber, and I know this is a little bit off topic, and maybe we'll do another chit chat where I talk to you about what all happens behind the scenes, but being a YouTuber, if you really want to succeed, is so much more than just making a video and putting it up. In fact, people don't even realize all of what making a video is. It's so much more than just being on the camera for these 10 minutes or however long this video ends up being and then posting it. There's so much more to it, and I love video creation, but there are certain things when it comes to optimization that I don't really love. Like, for example, I have started creating closed captions, or you could call those subtitles, for my videos. I do that myself. It is very tedious. It takes a long time. It means I'm going through and making sure that every single word that I say, like I'm doing right this particular moment, is correct in the subtitles, typing them, putting in punctuation. That is tedious. It takes a long time. I am a creative video person, not a transcriber, so that is not fun for me, but it's important to do it because I ultimately do want to succeed in this platform, because I want to grow my, I love how video influencers put it, or maybe it's think media, impact, influence, impact, and income. It's something like that on this platform. So I hope that that's something I can do, and that means I have to do things I don't necessarily want to do. And although this is a little bit off the topic of money, since I'm not making money on YouTube right now, it is still working towards a certain goal, and it's not always fun. And money is, in this conversation, is just a goal to help you meet something that you want. To just kind of close it up, I think it's important to know why you want money so that you have a motivation to go earn it, and knowing how much you need to be satisfied. And I say satisfied, not happy, because money's not going to make you happy, but you do still want to achieve your financial goals, so you need to know what you want so that you know how much money you actually need, because it's probably not a gazillion dollars, and if it is, you better go get working. And then also think about your financial future, which I think kind of ties in that whole what do you want, because you're thinking about what you want for the future. At least that's kind of the way this conversation ended up going. So yeah, I'm just gonna think about that, and I'm gonna finish folding real quick. I usually fold way better than this, but I'm not folding that great because I'm really focused on our conversation too. So this is not my model folding, and if you wanted a video on how I do fold really compact, small, and neatly, just let me know in the comments so I can make that for you. But for now, I'm just gonna, it's whatever today. I'll wear these clothes soon enough, and then I'll get to wash them and fold them again. cool. I usually listen to podcasts while I fold my laundry, but now I'm making a video just by chatting with you. So I don't know, have you ever thought about doing something like this where you just do something normal day-to-day chores but actually combine it with something you enjoy doing? I saw that a lot of people do chit chat get ready with me videos, and I do plan on doing one of those, but I thought I can chit chat with you while I do a lot of different things in my life, and given that this is a lifestyle channel, I thought it would make sense to chat with you while I'm doing some of the stuff that I wouldn't ordinarily film, but it is part of my life. So I don't know, let me know what you think of this idea. Comment below and just drop something down there. This is meant to be a conversational video, but until you comment, it's not really 2 weeks yet, so feel free to drop a comment at any point in this video. This is going way faster than when I usually fold my laundry, and not just because of fast motion, by the way. I just realized that this probably looks like so much, and it's because I tend to let my laundry build up and then I just do huge loads all at once. I think this is like 3 weeks worth of laundry. Oh no! The matches to these socks are gone. Usually by this point, I just sort of load up a laundry basket and then I wait until later to put everything away because I don't like to fold everything and then put it all away at once. I don't know why, but I guess I'll put it away right now. It's all over my bed. I don't have a laundry basket this time. Okay, let's go. Some value out of this video. If you have anything to say about our discussion today, just go ahead and comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this whole thing. Maybe you'll teach me something, or maybe you just have some more to contribute, or if you don't have much to say, just comment one of your financial goals. So until next time, go ahead and subscribe, like this video if you got some value, and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.